Is Billy Meier a UFO witness or fraud? Eduard Albert Meier, commonly nicknamed Billy, is an alien contactee whose UFO photographs are claimed to show alien spacecraft. Meier claims to be in regular contact with extraterrestrial beings he calls the Plejaren. Meier's also presented other material during the 1970s, such as metal samples, sound recordings, and film footage. In the year 1942, at the age of 5, a boy in Switzerland named Eduard Albert Meier, Billy, started receiving telepathic communications from aliens. The telepathic contacts were with an alien named Svath, ended in 1953. An alien woman named Asket took over the telepathic contacts with Billy in 1953 and eventually met Billy face to face for the first time in 1956. The contact with Asket continued for a number of years more, during which time Billy lived in his parents' house. Eventually, Billy traveled away from home and visited 42 countries in Europe, Africa, as well as the Near and Middle East. He also worked in all these countries, and he learned and improved his knowledge and competence. In doing so, he was often visited by the alien Asket or picked up for subsequent flights in her spaceship. During his travels, Eduard picked up the nickname Billy, so his initials became BAM. Meetings with Asket ended in 1964. Billy married his wife a few years later and started to raise a family. When it was officially time to start his public mission, he began receiving communications from a new alien woman named Simjays in 1975. This led to physical meetings out in the countryside where no one was around. Simjays explained her role and also promised Billy the opportunity to take many photographs, films, and recordings of ships in the future. Over the years, contact continued with alien people named Ta, Quetzal, and others. At these meetings, the extraterrestrial humans would give Billy information about the world and his mission. There have been more than 1,000 contacts, and about 700 of the conversations have been recorded. After the meetings, they would telepathically transmit the conversation they had word for word, so Billy could type it up and share it with the world. Not all of the contact reports have been translated into English, and not all communications are recorded. In addition to the contact reports, he has taken more than 1,400 pictures from inside and outside of their beam ships, dozens of films, sound recordings, and even received small objects like pieces of metal and crystals. There are more than 125 written eyewitness testimonies that lend proof to all of the events in Switzerland. Why Billy? Billy was prepared from an early age to become a prophet, the last of 7 of the line of Nocodemian. You have probably heard of the other 6 names. His spirit form is very old and wise. His mission is to spread the most important information that is necessary for the human race to survive and thrive. It is not an easy mission, so he is getting some assistance. We must take every bit of this information and use it to our benefit, or else suffer the consequences of negative causes and effects. No Plejarens are coming to save us. We must do it ourselves by learning the truth, one individual at a time. Many people have tried to assassinate Billy, as well as discredit his story and tamper with his evidence. They have succeeded on many occasions, so a lot of pictures are missing. Some false images were switched with real ones. The Plejarens knew that many of the photos and films would be disputed and manipulated, and this has brought large amounts of publicity to the case. Over 200 documented predictions of world events such as the Gulf Wars, AIDS, Ebola, the 9/11 attacks, natural disasters, political events, space events, assassinations and deaths, etc., all came to pass exactly as Billy recorded them, months or years in advance. Due to the extremely sensitive and sometimes secretive information, Billy has had numerous threats and more than 22 attempts on his life. It is without a doubt the most and best documented ET contact case in the world, and it is still ongoing. The most important resource is not the pictures or movies, though. It is the teachings. Billy has written 65 books and booklets, as well as numerous essays and articles, in addition to the contact reports. However, almost everything is in German and is slowly being translated to English now. On March 18, 1975, Billy Meier took this now famous photo of the UFO in a hilly forested area of Schmidrudi, Switzerland. Meier's original image was used for the iconic "I Want to Believe" poster from the X-Files TV show in the early 1990s. The poster hung prominently in Fox Mulder's office. Meier's image was used only for the first 3 seasons of the show, since permission was never obtained from Meier to use the image. Nonetheless, it has been cemented into UFO pop culture and has become Billy Meier's most famous photograph. Source: reposted and summarized from George Douglas at Quora.com. My take: although it may be difficult for some to fathom, Billy's story seems to be rooted in some sense of reality. Meier came forward with his stories in the 1970s. The world was much less accepting of the possibility of extraterrestrial life and technology. UFOs and alien spaceships were most commonly the subject of ridicule and disbelief. It is unlikely that his stories were simply fabricated out of thin air, as there was possibly nothing to gain. What do you think? The real deal or a fraud? And now, for a little bit of fun.
Don't forget to sign up for our Patreon page. Members get early access to videos, ad-free, and you can see content you can't see anywhere else.